The philosopher Pascal once wrote that all of humanity's problems stemmed from man's inability to sit quietly in a room alone. Today I want to talk about distraction. I've noticed in the last few days that I've become a little bit more fidgety and a little bit I've just been wasting a bit more time, I think. I know I've got things that I need to be doing, want to be doing, but I'm kind of just procrastinating a little bit, I guess, but also kind of being distracted, going on social media, looking on Instagram, recording these videos. The irony. But what I've started to do is listen to one of the audiobooks that I've downloaded a few weeks ago from Audible, one called Indistractable, which is all about the power of distraction and how we can set ourselves up for success. And what I've really noticed recently is, for me, one of the things that really helps me to focus is having a clear plan and a clear goal. I've talked about this briefly before, about how goals sometimes are held up as you can't succeed unless you have goals, and that's not always the case. For me, certainly what's worked really well with my running is kind of public accountability. So I will set myself a goal, like for my first 100 miler, I said I'm going to run 100 miles next June. I put it out there on my social media feed, I made people aware of it, and by doing that, that gave me the kind of inner drive to get on and do the training, and to knowing that I kind of made myself accountable by going public with it. So that's really helped. Now this year's been a bit of a strange one running wise, because of obviously lockdown has affected. Running is not important in the grand scheme of things, but for my mental health it's certainly really beneficial, and for my physical health, and for my relationships with others. And this year I had a big goal race planned, so I signed up for a race called the Kennet Avon Canal Race, which is 145 miles from London to Bristol along canals. That was scheduled to happen towards the end of July. As lockdown began and then continued, I very much doubted it would happen, but I kept training because I wanted to be ready if it did. It was cancelled. I've kept training, but I guess where I am right now is that I don't actually have a very clear goal. I've got a marathon at the end of the year, which the Portsmouth Coastal Marathon, which I've done but not officially. In the past, circumstances have always been against me. My sickness or sickness of my family have prevented me from doing it. So I've got that, and that will be one to look forward to, but I don't really have that big goal. I've got a race next year that I'm hopefully going to do, which will be similar to the one that's cancelled this year, so I'm kind of got an eye on that, but there's just something missing. I need to set myself maybe some mini goals, short-term goals, because having those keeps me focused and stops me from getting distracted by other stuff. So whatever the situation you're in, if you're pursuing a new career, if you're looking for your first job after graduation, if you're in between jobs due to COVID and redundancy, if you are looking at setting up your own business, it's so easy to get distracted. I'm a very analytical person, and I know that I'll get distracted by, I'll just read one more thing. That insight might be the difference. There comes a point where you have a certain amount of insight and you just need to go with it and then adapt and evolve as you go. So for example, I created a training plan for my 145 mile race. I did that on my own. I've done that in the past with some races which worked really well, and then lockdown came along and I just went, okay, well, I'm gonna kind of vary it, and I adapted it as I went. Felt really good, felt really ready. It's not going to happen. So don't get distracted. Keep focused, find something that works for you, and I'm sure that lady who just walked past walking the dog thinks I'm absolutely nuts talking to myself. Anyway, distractions. I'm still working on stopping myself from getting distracted. Good luck with yours.